Hello everyone, it's Gary Nicholson here for sailingweather.co.uk and weatherweb.net. This is your sailing outlook for the weekend and next week as well. Now, high pressure becoming a dominant feature over this next week ahead. Extensive fair and dry weather around, but still some strong winds to be aware of, and we'll have a look at the wind charts in a second. Here's the picture for Friday though. Weak warm front just bringing some patchy drizzle across the hills of northern England, but by and large most places are dry through the day. One or two drizzly showers may just come and go through the central parts of the English Channel, but many places dry, if quite a bit of cloud around, particularly the northern half of Britain and Ireland. Your wind speeds then for Friday are strongest in the English Channel, as I said, towards the south and the east, with a northeasterly here likely to be around a force 6 or even locally a force 7 in mid-channel, particularly towards the Dover Strait through the day. A little bit lighter out towards the west in some shelter, Devon and Cornwall near a force 5, but don't have to go too far offshore before you get nearer to a force 6. In the Irish Sea though, much lighter winds, quite variable, around a force 3 or perhaps a low force 4 occasionally towards the south of the Irish Sea, but in the central areas often quite light and variable. Across the eastern side of England, we're still a northeasterly at around a force 4 for Norfolk, nearer to a 6 though toward the south of Suffolk. For Scotland, we've got a westerly wind in the northern and western Isles, again around a force 4 at its strongest, maybe getting towards a force 5 or 6 towards the far north. And for Saturday, high pressure is still in charge, variable amounts of cloud around, some sunshine, I think best of this out toward the south and the west. Saturday's winds then are north to northeasterly across the English Channel, again it's pretty strong though, around a force 6 in the Channel, around some of these eastern counties a force 5, again typically as a northerly, and similar down many of these eastern coastal regions, close to shore a force 5 but not too far offshore, getting near to a force 5 or a 6, force 4 nearer to shore. Across northern Scotland, the strongest of the winds for Orkney and Shetland, around a force 6 or locally a force 7, well towards the north. Lighter winds out toward the west in the Irish Sea, typically northerlies at force 4 or locally a force 5. High pressure is there for Sunday as well. I think the best of the sunshine by this stage towards the south and the eastern side of Britain, a bit more cloud for western Scotland and the Irish Sea. For Sunday, light winds pretty much across the Irish Sea. We've got west or west-northwesterlies at around a force 4, locally a force 3, particularly out towards the south and in shelter. Still strong though in the English Channel. We've got a north to northeasterly at around a force 5 or a 6 across eastern regions, but I think dropping through the day towards a force 4, maybe even later on a force 3 in Devon and Cornwall through the afternoon on Sunday. Eastern coastal regions are typically northwesterlies or north-northwesterlies at around a force 4 through the day, again strongest north of Scotland in this sort of area around a force 5 to a force 6, maybe locally a bit higher for a time in the morning. For Monday, high pressure is still centred across the country and dry and fair conditions. Again, we've got quite a bit of cloud to come underneath this area of high pressure, so sunshine amounts may be quite limited. Strongest winds for Monday are across northern Britain, north of Scotland, around westerlies at a force 5 or 6 locally. Elsewhere though, we've got northwesterlies down these North Sea coast at a force 4, in the English Channel typically at northerlies towards a force 4 but often a force 3 in shelter, and in the Irish Sea north to northwesterlies at around a force 3 or locally a force 4. Not too much changing through into Tuesday with high pressure across the country. Most places again are very much dry and just variable amounts of cloud. It may just be quite a generally cloudy affair under this area of high pressure. Generally anticyclonic conditions then for Tuesday with high pressure sat across the country and quite light variable winds in the Irish Sea and across central parts of northern England and Scotland with wind speeds down just around a force 2 or a 3, often quite light and variable. Toward the northern and western Isles you're looking at a force 5 possibly in exposure, locally even a force 6 out towards the far north and the west. And in the English Channel as well we've got a generally east to northeasterly flow at around a force 5 at its strongest, but near shore probably nearer to a force 4. And similar for Wednesday as well, high pressure in charge, fronts well away towards the north, these skirting north of Scotland, and the whole of Britain and Ireland looking dry again with varied amounts of cloud cover. Just moving around a bit more to an east or a southeasterly through into Wednesday then, still around a force 5 or possibly a force 4 in shelter for the English Channel, moving towards the southeast in the Irish Sea at around a force 4 and south to south-southwesterly at around a force 5 or 6 for western Scotland, a little bit lighter though, just a force 3 around the eastern coast of England. And that's your latest roundup then here at sailingweather.co.uk. Do watch out for the strong winds in the English Channel over these next few days, but overall conditions are fair as we go into next week. That's all for now, thank you for watching and bye for now.